Now time for Big D Energy with four-time Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neal Ruhl. Live on the Woodward Sports Network, 99.1 and 93.5 The Roar, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
Yo, everybody. Welcome back to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. That guy, Darren McCarty. Uncle T, Terry Foster, is in the chair as well. We are ready to roll. We got Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. We have visual confirmation. He is here in the studio. Now, Spence, I have to ask you this. After the big birthday extravaganza at the Coliseum, broadcasting live for the heavyweights, we established contact around 8:15-ish that night. We got a status check on you, and then you went dark.
I went dark for a while.
For a while.
Yeah.
We were concerned, but here you are. You made it. You came out.
I'm alive. Just another day. Got through it, and ready to rock.
Now, did you pass out, or you just didn't want to be bothered?
I did not pass out. My phone was a little dead, so I had it on the charger for a while. But I was other things had me occupied. I'll just say that.
But he made it.
That's it. I just want to know, what was the birthday meal?
Steak bites. Got some steak bites. And the truffle fries.
Ooh, truffle fry can't be
did you have the ziti sauce?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's good stuff.
Living his best life. We're going to be living our best life here today on Big D Energy.
Was it cinnamon or
was it Mercedes?
Or Mercedes?
I fed myself the steaks.
Okay.
Yeah. I always think about that too. The strip club DJ voice.
Yeah.
Welcome to the stage. It's America's favorite import. It's Porsche.
You sounded way too good at that.
Well,
something.
It's in the repertoire.
Okay,
we'll just say it like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the repertoire.
What club did you rock?
No, I'm saying it's available. It's available for hire.
Were you a DJ at one of the clubs? Is this something you want to tell us?
No, I'm saying that's in the toolbox. So for those out there, if you want to bring the bag, you get the hardware. You know what I'm saying?
Give them one more. Just show that you know other names.
All right. Looking outside the studio windows, welcome to the stage. It's cloudy outside, but in here it's a storm.
Can we just do a show and Neal doing stripper intros?
For 2 hours. Let's just do it.
Playing linebacker for your Detroit Lions.
She's not sugar, she's not spice, but she's everything nice. It's cinnamon. I'm just saying, it's in the bag.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying? You bring me the bag.
I love it.
I'll deliver for you on your end.
That's absolutely.
But it's not free.
Entertaining. No, it's never free. Never free, right, Spence?
Never free.
Never free,
even on your birthday.
Even on your birthday.
No, but hey, we're happy to have you back. We missed you. BMG, Big Mike Gentry was cool, but you know. It's good to have you back, Spence.
Yeah, appreciate
seeing you again. Happy to have everybody with us in our Woodward Sports chat thread. Mike G, actually, the first one in today, says, Ermanni destroying MSU gives me the big D. So I guess that happened something on yesterday's...
Shocking.
Yeah. That's a great bit.
Yeah.
5 days of that every single day. No, but we are happy to have you all with us. We got a lot of Lion stuff to get to, obviously. We are going to get into some Tiger stuff. Also, Tony Paul from the Detroit News, he was out at the press conference yesterday where they introduced Scott Harris, the new president of baseball operations for the Detroit Tigers. And I thought Tony Paul asked one of the more poignant questions that nobody else was getting to, but we will discuss that with Tony Paul coming up. But, as we said, we did it. It's like the strip club thing, but it is pretty cloudy outside. I understand some bad storms are supposed to be rolling through, so wherever you are around the Metro Detroit area, keep a head up, see what's going on.
And speaking of stripper names, it could be stormy today.
It absolutely could, and it probably will be. It's looking like that. It is sad, though, because... Juices go. So we just discover Neal moonlights as a stripper DJ. Now I'm saying it's give me the bag and I'll be there. I've said this once. I'll say it 1,000 times. D-Mac, if you got a check or cash and a microphone and you want somebody good, I'll be there.
Yep.
That's depending on the cash.
Absolutely.
It's business.
Pay to play.
It's business.
What do you need to do the strip club for the evening?
It's got to be pretty substantial because that's going to lead to some strife at home, as you know.
Of course.
You know, the home life. It would have to be pretty substantial. I'm guessing.
Yeah, but can't you tell, sister? This is business. I'm not there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I could. That would have to be.
You know what I love? You know what I love when we have these conversations as three married men that have been around for a while is that he's having this questions when he knows the answers to himself as how he would. No, Terry, it's going to take something that the money over. What's the 99.9% of the time there is a price? That's one of those times that when the bag overweighs
the strife.
The strife, then it's
I would say,
furnace money.
Yeah.
Third furnace money.
That's got to be $100 an hour, minimum.
More than that.
Minimum.
I thought you'd ask for more. I thought you wanted like $1,500 for the evening.
Well, that's again depending on the package that you want to put. You want me there from like 8 to 2? Yeah, I'm gonna need about $750 for that for the day.
That's cheap, bro.
You know what you need to do? You need to be one of those DJs.
That's cash though.
No. You need to be one of those
underselling
DJs in Vegas. They make like $3, $4, $5 million
well,
a year.
They got like Tiesto and all
those
dudes
guys.
now. Yeah, they got
Tiesto.
Steve Aoki and all those guys.
Niasto. We need to give you a name.
Neilito, yeah.
Neilito, and then you need to know how to spin and do all that stuff, whatever they do.
No, he just needs a DJ to be able to do it. He could do all the talking.
Yeah, they put a mask on like Dead Mouse.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Keel Neal. There it is.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's something where, we would have to talk. We would have to have their people talk to my people and stuff like that, and we would go that way. And whatever it was, it would be good. Juice's Ghost says, just cut her in, Neal. Well, Juice, she has like the 100% rule. Yeah. I cut her in whether I want to or not. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it's going to go down.
Well, that's the way it usually works, right, T?
It is. You know what's jacked up? I was working, she's not. I'm bringing all the money. I get an allowance. I didn't understand that part.
That's how it is for me.
Wait, isn't that the way it's supposed to be?
No,
no, but
not
it is
supposed to be.
You're
But that's the way it
sit here
is.
and say that's not the way it is, but that's the way you.
It's not the way it's supposed to be, but that's the way it is be.
Yeah. Rake in our YouTube chat thread says $100 an hour plus steak bites. You think that's a fair deal, Spence?
Yeah, those steak bites are pretty good.
Now here's the thing about strippers, and guys always play this card. The wives don't believe it, but it's true.
Food.
The strip club has good food.
It does.
Because they have like 5-star chefs.
Yeah.
Like legitimately.
The truffle fries, man, I'm telling you, those were pretty
might
good.
need a heavyweight Woodward Heavyweights deep dive into
food review.
Food review.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. Looted Corpse says, I F with strip clubs. I bet there's a segment of the audience that does. I bet there is. Yeah. It's not my thing. Full disclosure, it's not my thing. But I don't despair. Live your best life. So it's your birthday, Spence. Go do what you got to do,
For
man.
sure.
100%. You guys know how I roll, man.
Oh yeah.
I don't care what you do, as long as doing whatever you do leaves me alone.
Yeah.
That's it. Like I'm pretty simple, man. Machiavelli sucks to go. Free lunch. Do they still do like the free buffet and stuff like that during lunch or no?
I thought they only did that near the factories.
Yeah.
The factory workers would come in, get some sandwiches. You had to pay for the drinks though, and of course the lap dances. Other than that, you got free food.
Paul Thomas says you expect to keep your money and not have it go to your wife. No. In no scenario did I. T-Foss is the only one that lives under that illusion. But even he has accepted the reality.
Right.
You get an allowance.
And speaking of the strip club, what percentage of guys think that the women are being nice to them because they like them?
99.5.
Okay, we need to reverse that.
Yeah.
That's not the case. They don't really like you.
They got
like
a job to
See,
do.
my question is, has your allowance changed over time? Is it, like a free agent, or not a free agent, but, when your contract comes up or you've had different jobs, but has your allowance...
It's changed now because the kids have left the house. Because there was money for her.
Yeah.
Money for Celine.
Yeah.
Money for Brandon.
Yeah.
And then what was left over, I got.
Absolutely. That's universal, bro. That's universal. I want you to feel... what right, wrong, or it's not about the right or wrong. It's about the what is.
Yeah,
that's the way it is. And you know what? A couple guys right here on the same boat, bro.
Real cream of wheat says Neal owns strip clubs. No, I do not. Tammy Chin says rolling my eyes. No, I know. I agree, Tammy. I agree. There is a locker room talk element to all this. It's like I said, it's not my thing, but it is.
Here's another thing
exists.
You can't tell your woman when you go into the strip club. Oh, but baby, it's a classy place. They're like, what are you talking about?
They got purple lighting and everything.
Yeah, yeah, all the good stuff.
Velvet couches.
No, I was just about to say.
There's a bathroom attendant.
Yeah, there is a bathroom attendant. He's giving out cigarettes. He's giving out anything you need.
Why do you hate the bathroom attendant?
I just don't like them, man. They first of all they pop the towels out of the thing, like pop, and then you just want to do your thing, rinse your hands, and you can get your own damn towel and leave, but they pop it and say, then they make you feel guilty about not tipping him, and they give you a piece of chewing gum and want $5 for it.
Yeah. Scott Klingler says, Neal, I want your honest opinion about Hutchinson limping. Scott, I'll say this, I was kind of getting aggravated because, he wasn't as effective. Can we all agree on that? He wasn't as effective during that stretch of the game. So, if you're not going to be as effective, then you got to come off the field, man. I was getting aggravated by that a little bit. I was. Only because of the circumstance that it happened within the game where the DC Commanders were kind of making a run and making a push and everything like that. So I was kind of aggravated by it. But whatever. Doesn't matter. They won. It's a pass-fail scenario. They won. So
but
hopefully he gets
athletes
right.
Can't walk off the field because there's a fear that if
they may never get back on,
that I'm not coming back. You're the number 2 pick in the draft. You're coming back.
Right. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Nicholas Duncan says for Hutch it's just the big D energy. LOL. Well, for a whole lot of people it's the big D energy. But there are some things we want to get into. Amon-Ra St.Brown was named was Offensive Player of the Week, right?
Yes, NSC.
Pretty impressive.
Well, how can you not? I mean, there's a lot of good performances. Who won the AFC Player of the Week, Spencer?
I'm not sure. I'd assume it was probably
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah,
but we'll get into that with the Amon-Ra St.Brown. Malcolm Rodriguez, which this is going to ruffle some feathers with the folks here, Terry, and you know it. Was the highest graded rookie defender in week 2.
How's it going to ruffle feathers?
Because he got graded over. If he's the highest rated rookie defender in week 2.
Aiden Hutchinson.
But I think you're fine with that, though. When you can explain.
Oh, the people are going to. The Michigan.
Sam
Flannel, are you comfortable with that?
Isn't it all right if it's on your team?
You comfortable with that, Sam? Be honest with me.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with it because it just means that we have 2 rookies who played well, and still, Aiden Hutchinson, even if he wasn't graded as highly as Malcolm Rodriguez, he had 3 sacks in the first half. That was one of the most dominant performances in a half by a defensive end, period, I've ever seen, and they were pitching a shutout. So I've got no complaints about any of that. It just shows that we have 2 defensive guys who are on the upswing. Their stock is up. You buy their stock right now.
Yeah, and why should you care? That's a teammate.
I'm not saying the teammates care, Terry.
But
I know the. You know what I'm saying.
Take another shot at the little Michigan people.
No, I'm not. I'm not taking a shot at them.
Saying?
I'm saying that's what's going to happen.
Why?
You know why, Terry.
No, I don't. Explain it to me. I hate people saying, "Oh, you know." No, I don't.
Because even Sam Flannel did it. It was the tone. I was told it's the tone. Did you hear the tone? He's like, it was the most dominant defensive half of football I've ever seen by a player before.
There was no
so
tone.
you know deep down he's bothered by it.
He was still talking like this, So that's no tone, man.
It's the tone.
But I think that.
Try and put some bass in your voice.
But the grading out system, but the whole thing is effectiveness, and you mentioned the injury, so the effectiveness of Hutch throughout the whole game wasn't there. So the explanation and the why is there. You have 2 young guys that are being impactful. They're both impactful in the game.
Nick Heath says they pitched a shutout and I pitched a 10. But I don't know if that's in relation to the strip club talk or what that kind of was. But looted corpse. I ignore PFF. That's going to be the outlet. Well, PFF doesn't matter anyway, Terry.
Only when it helps you.
Only when it fits your narrative.
Right.
PFF is like the the political outlet of football now.
Right.
You use it when it fits your narrative, and if it doesn't, then it's just PFF, whatever. I don't pay attention.
They're a bunch of crackheads.
Hey, I'll tell you where there are no politics involved. If you want the #1 haircut in the game,
you got to go to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the award-winning haircut experience, and this is your last month to register to win the car of your dreams from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, no appointment necessary. It's wicked awesome.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Neal Ruhl here for oddstrader.com, your #1 site for all of your game day betting activities. Play-by-play updates, live scores, all that stuff's cool. You can get that a lot of places. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But what you can't get a lot of places is the best available price in every game, and that's what makes oddstrader.com a must-have. In my opinion, you can customize a list of available sports books. The ones you have accounts with, so you don't have to cycle through your phone and go from app to app to app all over the place. You just look on the screen, and all the prices are right there. You like the Lions getting the points this week at Minnesota? Search all the books. Then go to the one that has the most available points for the Lions, right? Seems pretty simple, doesn't it? oddstrader.com. They're the only one out there doing it. Go to oddstrader.com right now to find your best bet. Off and running, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, Darren McCarty here in the house, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. We have visual, we have located Spencer Raxter. He is here, and we're happy to have him back, damn it. And, you know, he wasn't, all the rumors that people were talking about, he wasn't in a jail cell that I know of.
Yeah, no, I was actually at the butchery, and I'm not Mike Gentry. Why did he put his name tag on here? What a loser. No, but I was at the butchery on Monday doing some things, some heavyweight things that we're going to be pumping out to you guys. You know, shout out Chef Dave. He hooked us up, sent me home with some 38-day dry-aged ribeyes that I'm going to cook up, and I'm pretty excited about that.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I've been out there a few times. That's near where I live.
That place is legit.
Yeah. So, yeah, 100%. So yeah, he is here. We are happy to have him. But Amon-Ra St.Brown in the news, the NFL's Offensive Player of the Week, and you know, every stat that comes out, it's a lot like, this is almost like the Miggy thing earlier this year, right? Where every single game, every time we would get a hit, there would be a new stat out where he'd be associated with all these names that you only read about in books, you know, that you hear about. The latest one on Amon-Ra St.Brown, he joins Randy Moss and Rob Gronkowski as the only players 22 or younger with a touchdown in 6 straight games. And we know, you know, the consecutive games with 8 catches and a touchdown. He's the most ever in the history of that. The accolades just keep coming in with this guy. And it's not, when you start going 6, 7, 8 games in a row with 8 catches in the NFL, like, you can save the wait till they get film on you, wait till the league warms up to you. No. They're game planning for that guy now, Terry. Now they are, and they can't stop him.
That's true. And I'm wondering, as a community, are we falling asleep on this guy? Because when we talk about the Lions,
and Hutchinson,
we talk about Hutchinson, we're talking about Rodrigo, We're talking about Swift.
That's a great point.
And Amon-Ra St.Brown, man, it's not like I'm saying he should have a statue up yet, but
if you were going to build a statue
of all the current Lions, he should be the one that gets it. But I think he'd be like 4th or 5th on the list from fans about, my man Hutch.
I think,
why are we sleeping on him, D-Man?
I don't think it's sleeping on him. I think it's the fact that we've all put him away as he's ours now and he's good and we don't have to worry about him. Those questions that we've always asked that we still have when it comes to that we need more games and we need the consistency out of Hutchinson and Rodrigo because Amon-Ra St.Brown has put the results in from last year to this year. So we don't think it's a fluke. We see it's consistent. It's almost like, not to the point, but when you name the Red Wings, right? Who's the 5th guy you always name in the same thing? Nick Lidstrom, who's probably arguably one of the greatest of all time, right? It's sort of out of respect. And now when you say about Nick Lidstrom, right, it's not, oh, no, I love Nick Lidstrom. He's awesome and stuff like this. But there's other guys that you attach to for a different reason. I think it's the consistency. I think it's the fact of the work ethic and the game after game after game. He keeps they keep bringing up these names, right?
It's stupid. Like these characters he's with, it's dumb.
It's not dumb because it's
like these names.
Edifying the fact that he is that good and he keeps doing it and he keeps doing it in every game and he's gonna come to a point where the team's gonna you're playing against is gonna totally take him out of the game and he's gonna have 3 catches in one of these games coming up. How does he rebound to it? But he's such an integral part. And when we always say he's the poor man's Cooper Kupp or he's to Kupp to Stafford, it's Goff to Amon-Ra St.Brown. It's like Brady and Edelman, right? Or it's different things like that where you see that combination. And what I like is that when I say to you, Neal, does Jared Goff look confident in his security blanket? If Amon-Ra Brown's his security blanket. Right, I say
that's why that
100%.
That's why that touchdown last week was big to me, and I spoke about this on Monday
because
he closed his eyes and threw it up.
He threw it to his guy to make a play, right?
And his guy made a play.
It was more of a football, more of a wing it sort of thing, more of a just playing. And I think that's one of the things where you see more of where this team's coming, especially offensively. So it's not after 2 weeks that they're coming into their own, but that relationship, I think more so. The availability we focus on Swift because we're all like waiting for the shoe to drop, waiting for him to be out, waiting for him to get hurt. But Amon-Ra St.Brown, he's dependable, and we haven't had that as much, right? Since the Calvin or the Berries and stuff like that. And I'm not putting a gold jacket on this kid right now, but he's pretty much auditioning for one himself. I don't need to. He's going out there and giving the audition already.
But it's weird to me, and let's do it on the YouTube chat poll, Spencer. Are we sleeping on Amon-Ra St.Brown? Because I think we are. Even here in Detroit, Terry, your points were great.
We look at this. We look at the stats here. Amon St.Brown, 8 catches, 140 yards. That's cool. Let's move on. If it's anybody else,
he's the only one in the history of the league to do it for this stretch of games ever.
But we're still saying, all right, that's cool. We'll see you next week.
Juice's Ghost on our Woodward Sports chat thread says, I think we sleep on Amon-Ra because Calvin is still fresh in our memory. And Calvin retired in 2016. Like it's a while ago in the rearview mirror.
A little bit of a Hall of Famer. And when he was the wide receiver, he was the guy in the NFL. So it takes a little while for that light to go out.
Rack says, how does Okudah cramp so much, but St. Brown runs all the time and just drinks spit, and he's fine?
It's his dad. Man.
His dad created that.
With a dad like that, you're never going to cramp.
When's the last time Okudah did a calf raise?
That's
Kevin
true.
Durant, Jeff, whoever. John Brown, hero here on Big D Energy. If we ever get him on the show, I will be like Spencer.
But doesn't it explain to you? So, a little backstory for people who don't know what you're talking about, as far as how he was raised by his father, John.
Two-time Mr.
Universe, right? Which the discipline, right? The work ethic and stuff like this. So maybe that's the one thing. Maybe that we're seeing it bleed down into the rest of the team because of this guy's work ethic. I think the sleeping on Neal isn't sleeping on how good, but sleeping on maybe appreciation.
Our
right?
WoodwardSports.com chat poll, are we sleeping on Amon-Ra St.Brown? 56% of you say no, and I disagree. I think that number's I think a lot of people are sleeping on Amon-Ra St.Brown, and I don't get it. I don't understand why. Juices Ghosted back up, said, imagine if we had Swift right after we had Barry. We'd be like, he's all right. And, hey, I understand that, and maybe there's a degree of truth to it. But Sam Flynn, I mean, you got any ideas? Why are we sleeping? The numbers are not good, not great. They are historic.
I think it takes a stat like what was put on the show sheet to really put it into perspective. He's joining a club that the only other members are Randy Moss and Rob Gronkowski. Rob Gronkowski, who's arguably the greatest tight end who's ever played NFL football, and Randy Moss, who to me is the best wide receiver of all time, not named Jerry Rice. What Amon-Ra St.Brown has done is absolutely historic. And to put it into the context, he basically started right when Ben Johnson was elevated to pass game coordinator, and now Ben Johnson is their offensive coordinator. So this is the future for Amon-Ra St.Brown is looking very, very bright, and the present is very bright.
And I think it keeps going back to that. Like, there's an element of that where people are like, well, the future's bright. No, the present is as good as anybody has ever been in the history of this game, in the history of this league.
I mean, let me just repeat this. He is the only wide receiver. He's joining a club having 6 TD in 6 straight games before the age of 22 or 22 or younger. The only other people who have done that are Randy Moss and Rob Gronkowski. Have you heard of those guys? Are they pretty good? Absolutely. It's Amon-Ra St.Brown, Randy Moss, Rob Gronkowski. Get that in your heads. Let that stick in there and appreciate this man for what he's doing right now.
Maybe we're falling asleep on him because this is just his second year. He's a young fella. He's a pup.
But, Terry, the numbers that stretch out across the season, what the season he's having right now, Terry,
I hear
it's historic.
I hear you.
It's not just
but
good.
Sometimes it takes 5 to 6 years for the public to say, oh, yeah, this guy is good.
So what I'm seeing from the poll, where 60% say no, is that our audience here realizes that what you're saying, right? They realize, Neal, you brought it up to us. We know this. Let's enjoy what's going on, that we have a guy that was drafted in the 4th round is arguably one of the best receivers in the league right now on a consistent basis. He's durable, he's reliable. Yeah, like you said, the durability, the availability, right? The best ability. The availability because he doesn't seem, because of his dad, because
he's a dude.
Raised, because he's a dude. He might not be the tallest in stature, but that's a man playing a man's game out there.
He's out there.
And he's yours. So God bless to our chat who says no to the fact, but to Terry's point, that maybe more so the masses. But I'll tell you this, the rest of the league ain't going to be sleeping on them if they are so far.
I think we pay more attention to him if he was 6'5" and he had, ran a 9.800 or something like that. He doesn't have those intangibles that we love, height and strength he has strength, but height and a real blazing speed. You're able to grab hold of that, and I think you can latch hold. This guy, it's like he's just a regular football player who's putting up phenomenal numbers.
Not phenomenal, historic. NFL,
Historic.
and not Lions historic. NFL historic.
Okay. NFL
put some respect on the man's run here, Terry Foster.
I'll remember to do that.
Citron, the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. They have the Red Wings 6-pack sampler box available right now at CitronWorld.com/Red Wings. You can try all 3 of the delicious flavors, the great tasting Crumberry, the classic, and the sugar-free, all in one Red Wings themed box. It's perfect. Pre-order your Citron 6-pack sampler box, CitronWorld.com/Red Wings. We're almost there, folks. Season is coming up quickly. Get energized with Citron, and let's go Red Wings.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the Odds Trader Bet Tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to Odds Trader, and best of luck.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
In the Monroe Street Midway, and it's going on till the end of this weekend, September 25th. You still have time to experience Detroit with the roller skating, mini golf, art, live music, food trucks, and more. A fun, safe environment for everybody, ages 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more information. That's deckedoutdetroit.com. See you at the Midway. Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, wrapping up this discussion. You know, Terry brought up a great point, and I think it's true. I think we're asleep on Amon-Ra St.Brown. I don't think he celebrated the way that some other people in this town. And let's be real. Like, let's cut the ish with this. And by the way, appreciate everybody on woodwardsports.com or woodwardsports.com chat thread. Get your thoughts in there. We have it on the poll right now. Being honest, are we sleeping on Amon-Ra St.Brown? It's just, let's be real about it for a second. As far as numbers go, he's laps ahead of everybody else on the Lions with what he's done, what his accomplishments are. Far and away, Terry.
Historic.
Thank you. See, Terry?
I listen.
You do listen. I don't care what Honey Bun says. You do listen.
I don't listen to her, but yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Right. But no, I think that is the case, though. He's it. Like, he's our best player.
But, you know,
him and Penei Sewell.
Maybe the word sleeping on isn't the right word, but we know for the most part we can argue about how good Hutchinson's going to be, how this guy Okudah, but we all know, right? Because he's proven it. So if that's sleeping on it or putting him away, going, thank goodness. I think it's a good thing. I don't think it's sleep. I don't think sleeping on is the wrong term. I think the fact that he's proven what he is.
How about this? Are we taking him for granted?
I think it's one way to say, it's two ways to say the same thing. I think, I think that's what it is. Dom Rivera on our woodwardsports.com chat thread says, I don't think we sleep on him. I agree with Darren. He showed us that he can do it, so he's not discussed as much. People would rather talk about people that haven't shown anything. But, it's just going on. Rodrigo gets a ton of praise, rightfully so. Hutchinson gets a ton of praise, rightfully so, after what he did last game. He just kind of falls by the wayside.
But here's the whole thing. So if we're sleeping on, the NFL's not. I mean, because he just won NFC Player of the Week. And there's a lot of great stats out there this week. Receivers, you look at, all over the board. So the fact that he's getting props to the fact of his history-making performances, but it's the consistency. Right? It's not the Randy Moss putting up 3 catches for 180 yards and 3 touchdowns, jumping over everybody, stuff like this.
But shouldn't we like that more? It's workmanlike. There's almost a grind line.
I think we do. I think in our heart of hearts as Detroiters, but there's so many other positions that we're unsure about, and we don't know about our quarterback even, and we got to keep different guys healthy, and we got some young guys that are showing out and stuff like this. We're hopeful. So I think it's more the fact is just tuck it away that he's our guy, and on a consistent basis he's going to do it.
Melvin Drew, realtor on woodwardsports.com chat thread in capital letters says, read this. Okay, Melvin, I will. Amon-Ra's a perfect target for Goff's strengths. Also, kudos to Holmes for recognizing it and putting the two together. So yes, there is that angle there is that angle to it, and it works. It works. One funky Lions fan, St. Brown had almost 2 times the catches in his rookie year that Calvin did. Just saying.
Does this not go back to your Brad Holmes argument about putting the right guys in place, and to the fact that the realtor Melvin just said there is the fact that that's part of the benefit I think maybe we're seeing now. Oh, okay, the Jared Goff. Like, it's almost like Brad Holmes let it play out. The Jared Goff experiment that we're going to have to play out until the clock runs out and stuff like this. But he's putting guys around him. And then when they're available, right, would you say Amon-Ra St. Brown would be the one guy on your offense that every week you're confident that he's going to be out there?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
He's the one guy, right?
Because he does calf raises.
For whatever reason, they all should be doing calf raises. Instead of doing the ups and downs when you come to the team, you should all have to do 50 calf raises or something like that.
Man, the up downs are tougher, though.
I get it, but the calf raises keep you in the game, Terry. Which one you want? You want the guys to be available, or you want guys to look tougher? But that's my point. It's all coming into play. But the fact is that we're sure of what we have with him, right? Like, it's not a flash in the pan. We saw it. I think to Flannel's point about the Ben Johnson and everybody, the Goff, the Campbell. When did we see Amon-Ra St. Brown start doing this? It wasn't just this year. It's the second half of last year.
This isn't a Keel
Put the pieces together. So this is what other good organizations, other playoff caliber organizations, other winning organizations, this is just what they do.
Right.
We're just not used to it. That's why, again, it's not the same old Lions.
But you know what the other thing that's happening with him? He does not make spectacular plays. He just does his job.
And there are people talking about that in the Woodward Sports chat.
And he puts up good numbers. He helps you win and everything. But he's not Calvin Johnson leaping over 3 guys to catch a ball.
But as one funky Lions fan said, he had almost 2 times the amount of catches Calvin had his rookie year last year.
I understand that, but has he had a catch where he's triple teamed, leaps over 3 other Dallas Cowboys and makes the catch? No. Did he do? Was he laying on his belly like Swift? Got up and then ran for a touchdown? No. He just
Which touchdown are you talking about? Because he's got one in the last 8 games.
Last time we fell down, he fell on his belly, got up and scored a touchdown against Washington. But those are highlight plays. St. Brown just, what I have to do to win? Okay, yeah, I'll do it.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Coquet agrees with you, Terry. Says people love to see the freak athlete make the freak plays, but Amon-Ra's doing is just as valuable. I want to stop using the word valuable. It's historic what he's doing.
Sorry, Neal.
It's historic.
I know, but we like to say value. We like to say winners. It doesn't have to always be historic.
Well, because it's not always historic.
It's never historic until it is historic.
That's my. Seems like I feel we're being dismissive here. Even through this, we're talking through this. Sam Flannel, are we still being dismissive? Do we still think this is Akil Badu?
I mean, not Akil Badu, but
what are you doing in my car?
I'm a little bit, I'm a little bit, I wouldn't say disturbed by the amount of people saying he's not spectacular, he's not flashy, he doesn't make the spectacular play. I mean, who cares? He's in the same category for touchdowns in 6 straight games before that age 22 or younger as Randy Moss and Rob Gronkowski. What else do you need? He's done his job. And by the way, if you want spectacular, that 59-yard run was pretty spectacular. That 2 touchdowns, I don't care how you get them. One of them to stretch the lead from 7 to 14 when they really needed it. To me, that's spectacular. I mean, if it's not spectacular, at least it's valuable and workmanlike. And the numbers he's putting up is historic. And I think they need to hear people like us say that, reiterate those numbers, talk about him, and really focus on him to get that in their heads and for them to just kind of understand how great Amon-Ra St. Brown has actually been. It's amazing.
Terry, hold on. Here's one for you in the WoodwardSports.com chat. Epic says, Michigan people just love to bitch, I guess. So maybe there's that.
That is true.
It's never been done in the history of the NFL. Anything?
I feel like you're warming up to my side, D-Mac.
No, dude, I was always there but I have appreciation for him because he does what he's supposed to do and maybe above that. He makes all the plays that he's supposed to make. Although, if you listen to his interview, right, as great of it, this is why he's great. Because the same thing that I noticed was the same thing that the first thing he talked about, dropping that last ball that he could have shut the game down with, and he didn't. So next time he's not going to drop that. He's showing you exactly everything that Brad Holmes maybe thought. And you're going to draft him higher. Obviously, a fourth rounder, he's outplaying it. But the first time ever doing it in any league in history, no matter what it is, good or bad, is something.
It's incredible.
So just be grateful that teams have to scheme against different things. Just imagine, and then you look at the weapons. What happens now if they actually get DJ Chark involved, right? And there is some continuity with Hawkinson, and then we get Jameson Williams back. I don't think that takes away from the value and what Amon-Ra St.Brown's in his production. I don't think you're going to take balls away from him. I disagree with Sam on that when everybody else is healthy and comes back.
Well, let's write it off on this. Kevin T in our WoodwardSports.com chat thread. What? Neal doesn't want to talk about value? Good reminder, Kevin T. And I'll remind all of you all. Amon-Ra St. Brown's entire rookie contract is less money than Kenny Golladay will make this September. Let that sink in.
The whole month of September, though?
The whole month of September.
That's only 30 days. That's not even 31 days.
Well, hey, all 2 of the plays he played.
I thought Neal was going to say his contract is less than Kenny Golladay makes in a quarter.
It was close.
It's close. No, it's
just for the month.
Yeah, less than he'll make in September.
A 30-day month.
And that's why, so Kevin, thank you for reminding me to remind you all. So don't thank me, thank Kevin T in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. D-Mac.
You know what? Summertime's here. Well, summertime's over.
No, for another 12 hours.
12 hours, right, exactly. Last day of summer, so you were spending a lot of time outside. Now you might have to do some yard work, whatever it is. So regardless, like Artie Allard, give you peace of mind while you're out enjoying the sunshine or mowing your lawn or raking up leaves or doing whatever else, because they will, right? If you want to be part of the Big D Energy Guardian Alarm family, give them a call, 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Now, we missed 134 days yesterday, but today's 135 straight days, right? And just so you know, this flannel you had on yesterday, we're getting huge comments about. They like that one. So 135 straight days of flannel protection. You can have it too. 1-800.
Stay out. Get out of my house.
Give Guardian Alarm a call.
Only 230 more days to go.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You can get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Rivet, get a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right, free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog in Novi. So stop in, tell them we sent you. They'll print you one, boom, right on the spot. Go to Big Frog Novi today, get your free t-shirt, or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Make sure you check out our all-new revamped website at woodwardsports.com as well. I don't know why I'm laughing at this so much, but I am on our woodwardsports.com chat. No, I'm gonna put this out there. Remember, we just ran the Citron Braille commercial. I know Spence will laugh at this. And our Woodward Sports chat, Dominator, why wait?
Why wait?
Why does that make me laugh so much?
Dude, I do it every day. I hear it. I try to time it up with them. Why wait?
Why wait?
Exactly.
Everybody loves that, man.
Everybody
They just do, and that's fine. Juices Go says, great. My cable just went up 1/400th of Kenny Galladay's game checks. Tough break, man. Hey, you got to pay for that Big Ten network.
Get dope like me.
Absolutely. Aaron Tackett says, I still think Braylon deserves an Oscar for this performance. It is pretty good. I mean,
it's a very good performance.
It is, for real. Like, let's, I know we're he and ha-haing right now, but it's a good commercial. He did a good job.
Oh, for sure.
For real.
Centron World, baby.
Centron. Jack.
Okay.
Jack Harrington says, I don't care for Ryan Ermanni. Well, hey, you can't win them all, brother. I did want to talk about this, too. And I did my Jeff Okudah appreciation segment yesterday, which went over very well on social media. I think a lot of people saw the same things that I saw. Like, when he was playing, it looked real for him. He looked like a man that was playing for his life, for his pride. He had that look with how engaged he was. And it's good. And you guys know where I stand. I spoke my piece about it yesterday. You can go to all of WoodwardSports.com's social media outlets. That was yesterday. Now is today. Now they're going to Minnesota to play the Vikings. Now Justin Jefferson's over there. And for Jeff Okudah, man, he played very well the first 2 weeks. It's going to get as real as it gets. But that's the NFL, Terry. This is what you sign up for.
That's right.
For all the feel-good stuff and everything like that. Justin Jefferson's got a bad taste in his mouth after what he did to my son's fantasy team by not coming through. But he's going to be angry. Not because of that, obviously. He's going to be angry, Terry, and he's going to be on one, I get the feeling.
And this is an important game. It's an important game for the Lions and the Vikings.
And Jeff Okudah.
And but NFL players and maybe all athletes say they like to play against the best. That you're not going to get the best against the best, but you like going up against them to see where you are. And this is huge for Jeff Okudah because there's going to be times where he's going to look bad. Justin Jefferson is not going to be shut down by the Detroit Lions, but what you do is you limit him so that he can't beat you. And that's going to be one of Okudah's jobs.
They got a huge task this weekend, and this is huge.
That secondary, man.
Biggest test. We know that. You know, on the opposite side, you got Adam Thielen, who is a phenomenal possession receiver in itself. So,
and that's why, D-Mac, that's why I cautioned against what you saw in that Monday night game against the Eagles, because the Eagles' strength is the Lions' weakness. You know what I'm saying?
No, it is. As far, well, the Eagles' strength is just to play action, throw it to A.J. Brown. The difference is
I'm talking about defensively, though.
Yeah, but the whole thing is Kirk Cousins isn't Jalen Hurts, but the receivers are much better. So we're going to find out after this weekend, and I'd rather find out earlier. I think that coming off of last week's performance in the first 2 weeks, where you can say that, okay, I'm starting to see something. But you wait and see. And like you said, the best test is going up against the best teams. That's how we graded ourselves back in the day. You'd have it marked on the calendar because you had the Dallases, you had the Colorados, and stuff like this. And then when you play the other division, the East, you don't even play the Bostons and the Montreals or Torontos. Those are always big games because you only play them twice a year, right? So this is one of those games where you're going to play Minnesota there in your division. But when you look at it, you've set yourself up, right, to go out. And if what we are seeing, Neal, if the competitiveness and stuff, it's the consistency that this defense needs. So this game isn't about Jeff Okudah shutting down Jamar Jefferson. It's about the Lions' defense. Can they contain that Minnesota offense and give their offense enough opportunity to score points?
But Terry, you know as well as anybody, the NFL, all pro sports, it's a league of matchups, and you hunt for the mismatch. And when you have a mismatch, what do, Terry? Because you're playing for money. What do? You exploit it. You exploit it.
But this all goes back to Aiden Hutchinson. It goes back to the Lions' pass rush. If they can keep heat on Kirk Cousins, he panics sometimes. So that will help Jeff Okudah. That's going to help the Lions' secondary. So it still goes back.
I would even back it up, Terry, to say it will help. It has to help.
Yeah.
It has to. It's a non-negotiable.
That's true, too.
If you're the Lions, are you going in and to Terry's point, I agree, is that Kirk Cousins, you have to get him to have that moment of panic where he's been known to either throw the ball up or put it on the ground or stuff like this. It's almost like you have no choice but win that turnover battle. And if they can do that, they continue. We said the same thing going into the Washington game, right? Would you say the mobility of Carson Wentz and Kirk Cousins is more similar than like Cousins and Wentz? Their running ability, their mobility is more on the same page, right? So we got to get pressure, and whether it's the Hutch or the Harris or the McNeils and the guys inside, Isaiah Buggs getting his hands up and stuff like this, we have to make it uncomfortable as possible because Kirk Cousins has proved he will get uncomfortable, right?
And he'll get on the roll if you don't.
And that's the other thing, right? That's the other Kirk Cousins effect.
Yeah,
so.
you just start screaming, "How you like me now?"
Well,
you like that?
Well, I think, Terry, and I guess we're kind of getting into like a more of an overall preview.
But you want to focus on Jeff Okudah.
Well, I do, Terry, because I think this is a big game for him personally, and I think it's going to be a big game as to how he's perceived. And I think this is going to be a big game because when we talk about confidence, and one funky Lions fan says, "I'm not ready to toss Okudah's salad yet." Mark Royal says, Jeff Okudah has his confidence back. And I think, look, one funky Lions fan, I mean, for me, I gave him flowers just for the makeup of what we saw, the look in his eye, the fire in which he played, for coming back from things that have derailed other people's careers and things like that. But this game, Terry, and both things can be true. I can say that and say I really appreciate it, and I really have. It spurns a belief in me of him because as a man, he won't let it go down like that. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think he'll crack this weekend?
I don't know that he'll, quote, crack. Justin Jefferson is great. He's great. Not good, great. As in one of the top 3 receivers in the National Football League. It's all out there for him. And I don't know what will that be the matchup? Will it be Okudah and Jefferson? I mean, I don't know.
Slay says he's the second best wide receiver in the game.
And I'll take his opinion. Right. He's uniquely qualified.
He's no longer Darius Slay. He's just Slay.
Who did Slay say was number 1?
Devontae Adams.
Okay.
Yeah, but both things can be true, though, Terry. I can say what I said yesterday, but this is a checkmark game for Jeff Okudah to see where he is in the process. Because at some point, if you're going to get to where I think this franchise can go to, we think that this franchise can go to, because there seems to be a lot of goodwill, we have to... Rose, man. I go to Rick Ross for comment because you have the opportunity. Rose?
Show us.
It's just that, D-Mac, where, again, this is the reality of the situation.
No.
This is the gravity.
That's all it is. And here's the thing. If he doesn't show out or doesn't keep improving and showing the progression, but if there is a little setback, it's not the end of the world either.
No,
right?
It's not.
I want to see. I expect Jefferson to score. Right, I expect, if they keep him around 100 yards, but I still think that, with our defense and Okudah, the big part of it from what I've seen so far is it's not going to be as easy as it was in the past, right?
And realistically, what can Jeff Okudah do to Justin Jefferson?
No, it's got to be schemed. He's got to be put in the best position. What he can do, Terry, is every time he catches it, tackle him, right? Every time, and I think that, a lot of times going back watching the game, I seen Okudah off his feet a lot of times, but still he made the tackle. And like you said, Neal, at the end of the day, it's a game of did you do it or didn't you do it? Right? So if you make the play, you make the play. So that's what we want to see. We want to see the progression and improvement. I read it in the chat. The mental resilience that Okudah has shown right, is hats off worthy and standing ovation worthy in itself. Now let's hope the physical leads up to it, because there's something special, and you want it to work out for this kid just because of everything he's been through and the head down hard work he's put back into it.
And we get caught up in that from time to time, right? Like the feel good and stuff like that. But Justin Jefferson's coming Sunday.
Like now go out and prove
it's very
it.
real.
You know, all the stuff that you want to say, now go out there and show me.
It's very real. Yeah, and that's what it is. And look, T-Foss, Justin Jefferson is great and everything like that. He's going to get numbers. Like he's gonna have catches. He's going to get numbers. But how do they come, Terry? At what point in the game? How do they contribute to the game? Do they make the snowball continue to go downhill? How is it? Because he can give up catches and he can give up yards, but life's about timing, man.
Well, he's going to give up catches. He's going to give up yards. But can he do enough to help the Lions win? If nobody else in the league can slow this guy down, why is Jeff Okudah going to do it? Right. And if he doesn't, is that a precursor to him having a bad rest of the season? I don't think so.
But what if he does?
At every point in the season, somebody's going to get you. And this might be the weekend where he gets got, but then he can rebound the following week and perform well. You're not going to win every game.
But what if he does, T? Or what if he does, Darren? What if he does? What if he goes out there and he shows us and he does it?
I think to Terry's point, you know what I mean? He's still got to go out do it consistently. Because you're going to have some people that said that's just a one-off, or that's just, something. He's got to put the time in. Availability, his big thing too, and then it is to get the reps. But yeah, I expect him to make some plays out there. He's showing the fact that every time he steps on the field and showing that he's available, he's getting better, in my belief. And that goes to coaching from Calvin Shepard and even in that secondary, right? What do we have with our secondary? Is it a bend but don't break secondary? So the one thing, and hey, you guys are all worried about Okudah and Jefferson and stuff like this. No, my thing is Dalvin Cook. After coming off of that Monday night game where he didn't touch the ball at all, they're going to get thrown down his throat. So, I mean, there's other things to worry about. This is going to have to be more of a team effort. But if he does, to your point, Neal, it puts it more on that you have something. Because in the back of your mind, we'll all be saying, yes, we have something there. And the shutdown cornerback, right, puts you a lot further ahead if you can find him now.
Thank God they won Sunday.
Doesn't exist.
Thank God they
shutdown corner.
This is fun.
Not in this NFL.
Isn't this fun though? Because we can talk about what if. What if they win this game? Can you imagine this town on Sunday? Oh, if they win that football game. Oh man, we will be pit bulls on a leash that you're losing control of on Sunday in this town. For real. For real.
Yeah, that'll
what if they win? We'll talk about that more on Friday. I want to have that discussion of what if. What if?
First in the NFC North, that would be pretty hype.
What if Okudah had a pick six in front of Jefferson? Oh my God, man.
Hutchinson sacks Cousins 3 times again.
Hey, speaking of the show on Friday, you can join the Morning Woodward Show, Big D Energy, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz this Friday, 8 a.m., 4 p.m. Big Boy on Rochester Road and M59. Come try the new loaded fries. The burgers. And more. Hang out with the whole Woodward Sports crew and see the shows live in action. We'll see y'all Friday at Big Boy in Rochester.
Burgers and fries.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. Neal Ruhl here for Chili's Peppers Tanning, where you can join the Peppers Club, get all the best deals, take a look at all the unlimited tanning options as well, and they'll beat all the competitors' prices by at least $5. Chili Peppers Tanning, the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest hands. Go to chilipepperstanning.com. Find out which one of the 26 locations work best for you. It's Chili Peppers Tanning, y'all.
Chili Peppers Tan.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Terry Foster, Spencer Raxter, Sam Flannel. Check out the all-new woodwardsports.com website. Appreciate everybody tapping into our woodwardsports.com chat thread. Chuck Brewer, and this is important, I think, to address. Chuck Brewer says, Neal, where's all the Tigers' preseason level-headedness that you have? You want to know the difference with it, Chuck? Jamer Candelario isn't playing quarterback for the Detroit Lions, i.e. when he was the cleanup hitter on opening day. I saw through that one, okay? I did see through that one.
I met Scott Harris today. As I was walking out, he was walking into his car, so I didn't want to, stop him, walk up to him, and, say anything, but I just, sat down. I was like, good luck, man. I was like, I know you're going to do great things. I didn't really know what to say. I was gonna, good luck.
If you're going to work in this town, you need to know me.
That's true.
That is
That's
exactly
good.
what you should have said. Scott Harris was here in downtown Birmingham today, in Birmingham Roast, as a matter of fact, right? Getting coffee?
Yeah, with his fam.
With his fam. Good for him. So, speaking of Scott Harris, we'll talk to Tony Paul of the Detroit News. He was at the press conference yesterday. We'll get his impressions of Scott Harris and, what the game plan is going to be. I have a couple of non-negotiables that I need to see before. And, he talked the talk. The press conference is the press conference, whatever. The press conference doesn't win you any games or anything like that. But I like the way the guy speaks and everything like that. I like what he had to say, but you got to show us. That's the bottom line.
That's true. Here's the other thing I'm curious about him. Does he have to do something unconventional? Because I'm not sure this fan base can go through another 5, 6, or 7 year rebound.
Yes, he does. He does have to do something unconventional, i.e. address the way that we draft talent here. Go back through the drafts. Look at your farm system now. Mm-hmm. So something needs to be done, and I think that's fair. I think that's more than fair to say. That's not taking a shot. But whatever. We're not talking about that right now.
You can take shots. It's okay.
No, I don't do that, Tally. I don't take shots, man. I just state facts.
Okay.
Facts are.
What? Let me give you a
Facts
big
are truth
whatever.
Yep.
Is he the savior for this organization? Is he where it all comes down to?
Baseball's different, man. It's up to ownership in baseball, because as I said yesterday, you have to have one or the other, right? You got to have a Steve Cohen owner, where you do the IDGAF.
I don't give.
Yeah, you got to have that, or you got to have the Rays scouting department / the way they draft.
But doesn't
one of
the
the
Rays
two.
Scouting department staff, to Terry's point, take 5 years, 6 years, 7
but
years?
they have it rolling right now where they're competitive.
But
all
they've
the
got
time.
to start it up. No,
Right.
there flows there. I'm just saying, for us to do it the Rays way now would be 5 or 6 years, is what Terry said. We can't handle as Tigers fans.
You know what my biggest fear is?
What's
this
that?
guy comes in here, he gets the Tigers right to the edge where we want them. Aaron Judge is a free agent, says he wants to come to Detroit, and Chris Illich says, it's too much. Not going to do it.
Walter Briggs says Chris wants to give all the power to Harris, but it's not. It's up to Chris how much they spend, and they're in for $250 million on Eduardo Rodriguez and Javi Baez. You like your return so far? Do you?
Oh, hell no.
So if you're the owner, you can take that one of two ways. Then, if you're ownership, right, you can hide behind that and say, "Hey, we spent. It didn't work out." Right. Or what else can you do, Terry?
Or you can say, you can do what Mike Illich says. I have a guy that I trust, so I will spend
more
for him.
Yeah.
But if it was still Alavila, I cut back on the purse strings. Not doing it.
There's only two ways you can go when that happens. You can hide behind that, or you can say the show goes on, and you jump right back in the pool, D-Mac.
What did you guys take by the fact that Chris Ilitch said that Steve Yzerman was involved in the search? Did that make you feel better?
No, absolutely.
100 million% it better made you feel better. That's what it perked me up and said the fact that, okay, you got the right guy. Right there. The hashtag Weiser plan fits into your baseball team right now.
Transcends sports.
It does.
I'm just saying, no, that's why at the end of the day it's the right pick.
Yeah. No, you know what? When you have nincompoops running an organization, the smart thing to do is put someone in front of the public that the public trusts. Say, Steve Yzerman has something to do with this. We trust Steve Yzerman.
And that's
the Lions did the same thing. Chris Spielman was part of this. We trust Chris Spielman. Bam. So you had two people that you don't trust as owners, and I'm talking about the Fords and Chris Ilitch, put a star person in front of it and said they were part of the process. And then you go, okay, cool.
Public relations,
right.
101.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's one of those things here, and on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, I forget who said it. Chris has a deal. Mark Walston says the guy has a Little Caesars contract with the NFL. Money is no object here. Little Caesars paying the NFL for that. It's not vice versa.
Other way around. But to your point, is this guy going to get the opportunity to go out and find guys and spend money? To your point. And then, Terry, to your point, that'd be the worst case scenario, to show us hope and then take it away because you're not going to spend the money.
And that's what it is, Terry. For me, maybe I oversimplify things. I'm guilty of that from time to time. But there's two angles you can do it. You can spend money, or you can have an ungodly scouting department and player development. Because right now, the Tigers certainly don't have the latter. And I blame D-Mac for this with me, because I was clouded. Oh, the farm system's great and Baseball America and all that kind of stuff. And then they were all here opening day. And it was a bad year where they're going to lose close to 100 games. And I look down the line, and there's nobody there. There's nobody coming to save us.
Erie Seawolves are in the playoffs.
Great story. Wow, that's great.
Double-A team.
Cool. I'm sure that'll transition. Yeah, because we probably got our 26-year-old prospects playing for them. That's probably why. So it is. It's just, it's one of those things, man, where that's what I have to see. That's a non-negotiable to me with Scott Harris is you have to do, and I want action. I don't care that a scout's been there for 30 years. I don't care about that. Yeah, hasn't worked. Do you get 30 years here at Woodward Sports to make this work? I don't. Well, you might, but I don't.
D-Mac does.
D-Mac, okay.
No, they gave Neal 30 days.
Yeah.
30 days, and that's it.
That's probably a bad example. Yeah. But, do you get 30 years at your job? Can you be crappy for 30 years? No, you can't.
Isn't the bigger question behind this is there a relationship between Scott Harris and AJ Hinch, and the big question is what's the next move? Who's hiring the GM? What's the next move that's going to be made? And is AJ Hinch returning? We still haven't touched on that yet. Or is he going somewhere else? So these are all questions that need to be answered, and I don't think they are. But to the fact that my Lions fandom, which I put it away, 3 months ago, 2 months ago, whatever like that. Fans. It's sort of back. I'm interested because this is a good hire. And why would the GM take a bigger position as the president of operations of baseball in Detroit? I see that as a move from a guy that wants more.
Yeah, I mean, like for that though, there's only 30 of those jobs in the world though. Like people are saying, why would you leave home? Because it's one of 30 to get a crack at doing it.
You go from GM, and if you to be the president of a baseball club, that's a higher. That's more, right? That means that you wanted more, right?
You can shape a franchise. I'd leave any city to get that opportunity.
Right.
It's amazing. He was asked, why would you leave San Francisco to come to Detroit?
Oh, so I can be the guy?
So I can be the man.
Right. which you respect. I like that. I want a guy that wants to be the man, right, coming into a job. Still doesn't mean show me what he can do yet or what he's going to be available or what assets are given to him. Is he going to get money or does he have to fire guys? Or are we going to see guys let go now in the next 2 weeks, the end of the year? How many games are left?
I don't know, but they played
25, somewhere around there.
Bro.
Oh, that's way too many.
They have played Baltimore for the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Can't they just, in the mercy rule, can't they have a season mercy rule?
That's a good question.
Like, once you're eliminated, you should be able to just be like, you
just
good?
hang it up.
You good?
Nobody wants to see it.
No, play everyone from Toledo.
That's
what you should do.
Yeah, they are.
Kreidler and Carpenter and...
the 26-year-old pros. Actually, you know what though?
Carpenter hit a nice home run last night. Yeah.
I don't. I'm down with Carpenter. You can count him on one hand.
Yeah.
I was texting with a couple of my buddies yesterday, like the baseball elite text thread we got. I can count him on one hand. Riley Green, could be a potential all-star. Torkelson, I need to see more.
He's been hitting the ball well,
but I'm tolerant.
Yeah.
He's a rookie. Like I can give him the he's a rookie thing.
He's got really good exit velo in September.
Carpenter, I think, could carve out a nice niche because you need somebody that can hit a home run.
Yes.
Because they don't have anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So on that front, I'm good with Matt Manning. I like a lot, and that's about it, man.
Joey Wentz looked pretty good last night. But
I have a critical question. Who has more home runs?
Aaron Judge.
The Detroit Tigers or Aaron Judge?
The Tigers have more than Aaron Judge, but they don't have more than Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton.
And Aaron Judge has more home runs than the leading Tiger has RBIs.
Wow.
That's still the truth?
Oh, yeah.
Yikes. That was a fact as of yesterday. I don't know if somebody go nuts last night. Did Javi Baez?
Akil Baddoo and Jamer Candelario. They went off last night.
Oh, big Mr. September.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, if there's anything we know here in this town, we got Mr. September in baseball, and we got September Heisman winners in Ann Arbor.
He's going to finagle his way to another year starting.
Only Mr. September when you're out of the race.
Right, absolutely. 12:24, we're going to talk to Tony Paul. He was at the press conference yesterday. When we come back, though, I do want to, I want to address this Lions thing because I took some flack on social media for it yesterday about the must-win game, and I want to explain that a little more after DMAC tells us what Mr. Kearney's up to.
Mr. Kearney says at the Academy of Warren, if you're interested in expanding your career, making a difference in your community, then to give them a call. For professionals that have a passion for working with students in the kindergarten to 8th grade department and more. So for more information on how to apply, give the Academy of Warren a call today, 586-552-8010, or visit Mr. Kearney at academyofwarren.net.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Hey, it's Scott from the Bet Show. Hey, week 3 of NFL is upon us. How's your fantasy team doing? You got any injuries? Are you 0-2? If so, hey, make sure you join us at 4:30 at the Woodward Bets YouTube page. We'll help get your team back on track. Also, you guys get to go over to that app store and download oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, and it's the best place to check all the odds of sports books right in the palm of your hand. But hey, let's get to some fun coupons. We need to get some winners today. Let's roll. Here we go. We got Tampa Bay Rays today facing the Houston Astros. Astros pretty much already clinched. Hey, they already got it. Tampa Bay needs to fight for that wild card spot. Sounds good to me. oddstrader.com. Woodward Bets. Check it out.
Looking to buy or sell your home? Whether you're a player or a fan, helping you buy, sell, or invest is Mike Phillips's top priority. Being in the game for 23 years makes Mike the #1 option for anyone. If you have real estate needs, call Mike Phillips at 313-403-0011. Again, that is 313-403-0011. Mike Phillips, game on.
Check it out.
Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Terry Foster, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, squad deep up in here. And our WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Honolulu Blue Sparty, Baez is mid. I hope he's moved. He ain't going nowhere.
60 for Judge, 60 home runs, Baez, 58 ribbies.
Because, I hate to do this to you guys, but when people make comments like that, we're forced to. And it's not your fault, Honolulu Blue Sparty. It's not my fault. It's not our fault. It just is. And just a reminder, he's just completing the first year of a 6-year, $140 million contract with an annual salary roughly of about $24-ish million. There is an opt-out, but it's a player opt-out in 2024.
He ain't opting out.
He ain't opting out because you can be mid here and still be fine. So, that's the way it's going to be. He will be 30 next season. It ain't looking good, but he's under contract to you until he is 34 years old at roughly 25-ish million per year.
Yikes. I hate you, Elavila.
So that's what it is.
It's great news.
I don't know about all that. Yesterday, in the Lions discussion, we put the clips out all over the Gram, TikTok, everywhere you can find Woodward Sports. And we were talking yesterday about guys making plays and how it's nice to get that win and must-win games. It was nice to win a must-win game. And I said this week against Minnesota is not a quote-unquote must-win game. And guys, remember when I say these things, I'm talking about in the context of this season, right? Because you are playing. And you guys know me, right? I'm about draft positioning and stuff like that. But I've also, D-Mac, I've always said this, where that is not into the picture until you cannot make the playoffs. Because the stat is once you can't make the playoffs, winning hurts you. That's just the system as they set up. The season is still going on, and for me, when I called Sunday a must-win, and you get kind of a free roll here against Minnesota, and if you do lose, then Seattle becomes a must-win. In the context of this season, in the context of getting in the playoffs or doing what you want to do with this season, that's where it becomes must-win, and it changes. As the season goes on, D-Mac, it changes. I will say those teams that we talked about that are 0-2, all of them, this weekend's must-win for all those guys because you ain't making the playoffs at 0-3.
The stats are they're already out of the playoffs because last year and you don't make it 0-2.
Right.
But to the fact if you're gonna break that trend, then they have to definitely win this weekend. It's just from where it puts you to, yeah. And to the comment of the fact that every game has a storyline and every game could be must-win. Well, yes, okay. To the simplicity of the comment, yes, you're right. But just different narratives because if we're going to the ebbs and flows of this team building, last week was the biggest win because if everybody had them starting at least 1-1, they had to be there. Going into Minnesota, I think a lot of people before the season and everything like that were picking out the teams that this would not be a win. We have a good chance to win this week, and I believe that from seeing how our team has performed, their team has performed, but regardless, it's still in my book not a win. But at the end of the day, Neal, it's like in the quarters, because when we break it down, we sort of break it down in 4-game quadrants. You got to end up 2-2 by the end of the 4 games. Now, you win this game, like you said, Pitbull's off a leash, being 2-1, having to share the lead in the NFC 3 games in and stuff like that. You're dealing with a different beast, having to win a game you're expected to win against Seattle. So the narratives sort of always change, but you can rebound to what your mission is for this year in your development, running the clock out, and still lose this game and be told. It's the ebbs and flows of the season of what you have.
But Neal, big question for you. You're saying that teams who are 0-2, you say, it really is a must-win. Isn't it a must-lose? Because 0-2, you're not making the playoffs. Now, aren't you going for playoff position, or is that too soon?
No, it's if you want to make the playoffs, T-Foss. And what do I always say about it? We're pushing forward, but once it's over, it's over. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like once it's over,
history shows, for the most part, 0-2, it's over. It's not
You're not dead.
Mathematically over.
Right. It's not mathematically over.
But isn't it
until it's mathematically over, T-Falls.
Okay, all right.
You know what I'm saying? Before you want to truly roll the tanks into the streets.
It's must lose for those guys.
There comes a point where it is must lose, if you get what I'm saying. It's just for me, and people are saying here on our woodwardsports.com chat, and I apologize, it rolled through there, so I forget who exactly said it. They said Seattle's a must-win game either way. And that's not true, because it goes by the math. And this is to me. And Motown Cool says they are must-wins, because I have cigars betted that they win 7 games. They all are must-wins for you, Motown Cool, until they get to 7. It's up to the individual. It's just, for me, I speak in context of the season of being a playoff team. And that changes. That changes as you go through. Like with the Tigers, the expectation was playoff contention, like real playoff contention. That's what the expectation was.
You're more or less measuring against a stick. Like if the progress goes down to being a playoff team, right, where the tracking of where all the teams go, you're saying this is what continuously keeps it on track for you to be a playoff team.
Right, for this season. Because it's everybody's goal to go to the playoffs.
Right.
Everybody's goal.
So depending on who wins, what wins in your division, depends on whether it tracks it down.
And that's how it shakes out for me. That's where I was coming from when I say that. Because
now, Neal, you're not the only mathematician on this show.
Really?
I did my calculations. That's right. The Tigers were 3-45 in must-win games this season. So they didn't quite make it.
They won 3 though?
Won 3 out of 48.
All right.
Bo Bileski says in our Woodward Sports chat thread, Seattle's definitely a must-win game either way. Can't lose to those bums no matter what. But if you beat Minnesota, you're 3-1. It becomes not must-win
for the people that are betting the over 6.5.
Right.
No,
I'm talking
on your
about
schedule to whatever. So, but to the same thing like PFF, right? Changes depending on what your narrative is.
Bingo.
So whatever else. Let's
Plus,
go.
technically, if we're talking over/under, all you
Yeah,
have to do
what do you got to win in this
500.
NFC? What do you got to win in this division? Is 9 get you in?
I think
9 and 8
10,
or 10?
Yeah, 10
and 7.
Well, this conference,
Green Bay's
man,
going to win 10 games.
Right.
They'll win 10 games.
At a minimum.
Right.
At a minimum,
just
they
to piss
will.
everyone off.
Yeah, 9.5 will get you in. 9.5 will get you in.
I've never seen a team finish with 9.5 wins.
Well,
this would be historical, Neal.
Yes, it would. I believe 9-6
I
what
guess
is
it's
it?
just historical year, too.
9-7-1 will get you in, I believe.
Okay.
9-7-1 will get you in.
Okay.
But 9-8 won't.
Ooh. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I did predict the tie last year for the Lions, and it worked out. I had them at 2-15 or 2-14-1.
So that's where it is. Is, you know, it for me, that when I say must win, that was the trouble I got into with people. It's just in this season, in a vacuum, if you're chasing a playoff berth, which if you poll that locker room, what are they saying? Yeah.
No, absolutely. So, and then it goes into where you're at during the season. But it would be, hey, how about going in and winning a game maybe you're not expected to win, but you have an opportunity? Because I feel better going into Minnesota this Sunday than I did even before the game last weekend. Right?
Well, the Lions sort of have to do that because they're going to be underdogs in the majority of games this year. So they have to technically win games they're not supposed to win.
That's true.
Right.
That is absolutely true.
Especially for a team that wasn't favored in 24 straight games.
Don Burr says every game is a must-win. The Lions, that's the only way that the Lions can gain respect. And do you think the respect card's overplayed a little bit?
No, absolutely not.
You don't think so?
No. I do think the Lions don't get the benefit of the doubt because they're not respected. National media either laughs at the Lions.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Or they're sympathetic. Like, oh, the poor little Lions are so cute. We want them to win this year. Come on, guys. No, they don't get respect. And you know what? Don't deserve it.
Until they win. If you win, the respect takes care of itself. I've always thought that.
As we stand here now, today, on this cloudy day, they don't deserve respect.
Because they haven't won.
Correct.
But when they win, they'll get it.
If they win, yes. They deserve it.
They will win.
Okay.
You can't be set up financially the way the Lions are set up and not win. You can't. It's going to happen.
That's why the frustrating thing is just to take this season for what it is and allow it to play out and allow them to build and everything, because really, like you said, it's this off season moving into the draft and free agency is where Brad Holmes has really got to show what he showed you or what you believe he is and everything to this team.
Next year should be exciting.
Working out at Planet Fitness is exciting. It's the official studio sponsor of Woodward Sports, also home of the Judgment Free Zone. You can work out for just $10 a month for access to your home club. Upgrade to the Black Card as well. You basically own the place. Unlimited guest privileges, access to over 2,000 Planet Fitnesses around the world. Pretty much anything else you want to do. You want to join? You're going to pass a couple on the way home. Pull in the parking lot, join there. Go to planetfitness.com. You can join there as well. It's Planet Fitness, Mr. Darren McCarty,
where your fitness is essential.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
D-Mac here for Alta. At Alta, uptime matters. Alta equipment has everything you need to get the job done. Yeah, I got a bog project coming up. Alta Rent has you covered, so give them a call today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
Back at it, Big D Energy, right here on Woodward Sports. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Terry Foster with you, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter as well. And, you know, we talked about Scott Harris. We talked about the Detroit Tigers. Let's bring in a guy who was there at the press conference yesterday when Scott Harris was announced. He is Tony Paul from the Detroit News. You can follow him on Twitter at TonyPaul1984. Tony, as always, man, I appreciate you taking some time. And you were there in the room. You're a big baseball guy. Give me your initial impressions.
You guys, thanks for having me on. Yeah, it was, you know, you always have to be a little careful to not, you know, go too crazy when someone wins the press conference, right? I mean, we've seen Jim Schwartz win a press conference. We've seen Brady Hoke win a press conference. We've seen a lot of people win press conferences over the years. But what I really liked about Scott Harris yesterday is that, you know, he wasn't going to make any declarations. He wasn't going to put any timetables on anything. But he never uttered the word rebuild. He never uttered the word patience. And you got the sense that there are going to be changes, a lot of changes, and changes relatively quickly as he gets his feet wet here. So it's going to be interesting. He comes highly regarded. He comes off the C.L. Epstein tree, which is never a bad thing. He's young. He's probably the youngest president in Tigers history, one of the youngest in baseball history, and you have to be a little excited about the complete 180 this franchise has done in the last month with their leadership.
Hey, Tony, do you know who won the press conference according to Neal?
Let's see. Me?
You did. That's right. You won the press conference.
He asked the question. I thought it was an important question, Terry.
Oh, okay. I think when you're introducing a new guy, you want to know more about what's he going to do, what was the process, and then the question was probably asked at the appropriate time, but I don't think it was the first or second question you asked.
Well, somebody had to ask it, Terry.
Well, he asked it.
Yeah, no.
So that's why you're the MVP at the press conference.
Yeah, I'll take it. I've been MVP very few times in my life, so I'll take what I can get.
Okay.
But what about that though, Tony? About having you ask them about what the GM is. My question is, as a baseball fan and Tigers fan, my first love that I've totally checked out. Why should I check back in just because you hired some dude, that was a GM? Like what is it that I should believe in this? That I'm hearing the same things and the expectations, but the fact is, who's hiring a GM? Do we know who's hiring a GM, or what's the next move for the organization for fans like myself?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think you necessarily. And look, I haven't watched nearly as many Tiger games as I typically watch in a year either. They've been irrelevant since May. You're ideally, in baseball, you ideally hope your team's in contention when the kids go back to school. In this case, the Tigers are out of contention before they got out of school. So, I get it, and hiring a president and a front office guy is not going to change things overnight. But when you look at the track record, he was a significant part of the Cubs World Series championship in 2016. He was a significant part of putting together a Giants roster that won 107 games last year in an NL West that included one of the best teams in the last 50 years in the Dodgers. He's got a track record. He's young. He thinks differently. And I really, really liked what he said yesterday. If you haven't seen the press conference, go back and watch when he talked about the strike zone. And a strike zone is such a simple thing, right? We think about it as, okay, yeah, you want to throw strikes, you want to swing at strikes. He gave this dissertation that was so fascinating and something like I've never heard before from a baseball executive, how the strike zone affects every aspect of Major League Baseball, from pitching, from simple throwing strikes to get hitters out, to pitch load, to how many relievers you have to use, to how good your defense is, to how good your offense is. And the way he talked about that and how he's going to basically focus on that and make that the centerpiece of the wheel and everything else is the spokes, and you work out from there. It's just fascinating. So just a fresh perspective that I think understandably has Tiger fans a little excited. Look, they got a long way to go to get back into relevance here. This is a very bad year. There's a lot of people on this roster that have to go. But, this is the first start. You have to start somewhere, and this guy comes highly regarded. And if you listen to him yesterday, it wasn't just, saying we want to win. His philosophy came out, and it was, to me, very impressive.
Talking with Tony Paul here from the Detroit News. Follow him on Twitter at TonyPaul1984. You can check out his story, DetroitNews.com. You can go there, subscribe to the Detroit News. So get it in there. Tony's story.
2 years for $22, Neal. What a deal. You can subscribe. 2 years, $22. Come on.
Well, right, absolutely, Tony. I'm a subscriber. I've been staying a subscriber, man. Absolutely. I don't get it for free or anything like that, but I'm in there. I enjoy the newspaper. And I read it on my screen. Yes, it comes on a screen, and you can do it that way. But Tony, he talked about changes, and I think everybody understands that. And for Scott Harris, and we talked about this earlier in the show, Tony. For me, you can do this one of two ways as an organization. You can do the Steve Cohen route, where you're going to be the $1 million man and you're going to buy everybody and make it rain on payroll the way the Yankees do it and all that kind of stuff. Or you can do it like the Rays do it, where you have a flawless scouting infrastructure and player development model that you follow. But you do have to do at least one of those things. So, for me, Tony, and I ask your opinion of this because you cover the team and you cover the sport. What do changes look like swift changes for Scott Harris to make? Because for me, you're looking at this farm system that everybody celebrated. They're back down in the 20s as far as the MLB rankings go. There's not a lot of talent to me that I look at down there. There's a couple names or whatever, but the odds say not all of them are going to make it. So when you look at it from that standpoint.
Let me just stop you that really quick before you ask your question. They're down in the rankings in part because a lot of their primary guys are now in the major leagues, and there are guys in the major leagues that you can be excited about. So there's that too. So you have to give them a little credit. There is some young talent here that I think people understand is going to contribute. So
and contribute, and that's fair. But I look around this league, Tony, and you know where I'm going with this, man. You watch the All-Star game, and you see the Braves with the Ronald Acuñas that they signed at 16 and 17 years old, and all these farm system guys that you hear about that are there dominating the game. And yes, Riley Green is promising and stuff like that. Could be a future All-Star. And Matt Manning is very, very good as well. It's just I don't see that, Tony. And I guess my question to you is when Scott Harris talks about changes, how about we change the way we draft? Starting there. Why can't the Tigers draft the way that a Rays team does or a Braves team does? Is that something that would be on the forefront for him, do you think?
Well, that's a fair point. Absolutely, I think that's going to be a big part. He talked about, one of his big things was, was acquiring talent, whether it's draft, trade, or free agency. And draft is obviously a big part of that. I think what happened with the Tigers is that, they had the open checkbook from Mike Ilitch, so they didn't have to draft particularly well, right? There was never really an emphasis, or at least a do or die of you better draft well or your team's going to tank. When you had the open checkbook, they were going to go buy their players. And so I think that I think they got a little bit complacent with their scouting staff. I think they kept a lot of people on way too long. And, yeah, that's going to change. You get the sense that Scott Harris is going to meet with everyone in the organization. And one thing I've been told about him is his best attribute, I've been told this by a lot of different people, is he's a great listener in that he can have great conversations and quickly comprehend and compartmentalize what those conversations mean going forward and who's going to stay and who's going to go in this organization. And I think you're going to see significant turnover in the player development side, in the scouting side, because that's very important. And for this team to become a contender long term, they're not going to spend like Mike Ilitch did. It's just not going to happen. Chris Ilitch runs the business differently. Yes, he spent $250 million last offseason to bring them up to 18th in payroll. They could probably get into the top 12 in payroll and still turn a profit if they become good again, but they're not going to be a top 3-4 payroll. So, yes, that's going to be very important. And I believe that's going to be one of his primary objectives, is getting that squared away.
And Tony, look, man, and I'm fine with that when you say it, but then you have to address scouting and you have to. That's a non-negotiable. I need a pound of flesh for that, man.
Absolutely, it's going to happen. And he said it without saying it yesterday. He gave a very clear indication that things are just going to change, and it's not just the players on the roster. It's the people that are making the decisions on who are the players on the roster. Things are going to change.
Now, Tony, one thing, I think there's fan fatigue with this team. That I don't think these people can go through another 4 or 5 year rebuild and be told everything's going to be okay when this is done. Now, with that said, do you think he's going to have to do something unconventional or crazy in the first 2 years in this rebuild, or can he just, build the way that guys usually go?
No, I think that, again, he didn't use the word rebuild yesterday. He was very careful to avoid that. Chris Ilitch didn't use the word rebuild. They didn't use the word patience. Look, when some people say this is year 5 of the rebuild, I would argue that it might be year 6 or 7 in many ways. So, there's no way they can go through that and bring this fan base back. It can't happen. So there's going to be big decisions, tough decisions made on players on the roster now. I think he's going to be very aggressive with trades. You might see one of their 2 of their top prospects move this offseason. And I think that they will spend a little bit, again, this offseason to kind of, piece things together and kind of go as you go. I mean, I think it's going to be, you have to address, the roots. But, yeah, you're right. This fan base is not going to accept another 5-year, 6-year, 7-year rebuild. They got to start winning games now. So they're going to have to, address the roots, but they're going to have to do that while they fix the Major League roster at the same time.
My question, Tony, is the fact that is there a past relationship or friendship between A.J. Hinch and Scott Harris at all? And I asked that sort of part A to part B. Do you expect A.J. Hinch to be the manager of this team next year?
Second part first, yes. I mean, he doesn't have an opt-out in his contract, and like a lot of people thought he did. There was rumblings that he had an opt-out after 2 years, and that apparently is not true. I think he's definitely back. He's got a 5-year deal. I think he's here as long as Scott Harris wants him here. And the first part of your question is no. They never met until this interview process started, which is very interesting because when Chris Ilitch fired Al Avila back in August, Chris Ilitch made it clear that A.J. Hinch was going to be a big part of the search. And so that led a lot of us to believe that the next guy would be a guy that had close ties to Hinch, like maybe Josh Burns, right? Which was the name that was out there before Scott Harris got hired. That was the one everyone was kind of pointing to. The fact that, they have met many times, and A.J. Hinch and...
Did Tony drop off there? Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. Somebody on the other end just asked me for a password. I don't know what that was about. But
please enter your password, then press pound.
Yeah, that's going to cost you $200.
Please enter your password, then
I don't
press
know.
pound.
The phone system's going a little haywire here. But anyway, they did not have a past relationship, which I think...
Please enter your password, then press pound.
That Chris Ilitch went out and got this guy.
All right. Well, Tony, man, we appreciate it. DetroitNews.com.
Unfortunately, the system cannot
they didn't have a
process
past
your entry.
relationship.
Please try again later.
You don't have the
Goodbye.
password either. So we
I don't have the password to stay on, guys. I got to go.
No, the password is Tony Paul 1984.
Yeah, on Twitter.
There you go. Stop telling people that. Just, hey, I don't need to get hacked.
Okay.
All right, Tony. Hey, Tony,
right,
we appreciate it, man. Thank you, brother.
Tony. Good.
Yeah, my guy Tony Paul from the Detroit News.
Does that mean we didn't pay the bill, or
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Sam Flannel, the audio guy, looks befuddled right now, so he doesn't know exactly.
No, isn't that old party lines thing, T? Back in the day when you double click the hand phone.
Funny you should mention that. You had to share the phone with another neighbor. Or somebody else.
Real things.
Harold Williams on our WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Harold Williams says Tiger Talk will do that to you. So there you go. Maybe that is the case, but
I think the operator was tired of hearing about the Tigers, so she said, "Let me cut this off."
I'm cutting this one off right now. Hey, I like what I heard about the scout. Tony sounded very, very confident. I'm going to get my pound of flesh in the scouting department.
Don't pull it like that. He gave it to you like, Neal, you're going to get your pound of flesh.
That's
he pretty much came out and told you he was.
Then you know what? If I see that, then
we can move on.
Me.
Then you might see me peek back around the curtain.
There you go. You do that, and I'm down the road.
Then we're moving, right? We're getting out of the mud.
I hate that's people don't realize the Tigers drafting thing going back to like the last good draft I had was Whitaker and Trammell. But the last good mulligan I had was just a few days ago, made with Gypsy Vodka. It is the official drink of summer. You can do it in summer for about 11 more hours. That's all you got. So hurry up and get them in. But be careful because they're 8%, everybody. But as we said, the mulligan is made with Gypsy Vodka. If you're in the golf course, if you're hanging out in the backyard, if you're grilling food, that's become my big thing. I like having one while I'm grilling the food for the day. The mulligan's calling your name. Ask for the mulligan at your local golf course or roll through a Total Wine store near you. It's a mulligan made with Gypsy Vodka. As always, drink responsibly.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The Bacon Blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries, what will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
There is nothing better on game day than a rocking tailgate. With all the fun comes some responsibility too. Host liquor liability is an important coverage when hosting a high school, college, or pro tailgate. Let Mark at Swiss Insurance make sure you are protected so you can enjoy the big game. Again, that is Mark at Swiss Insurance.
The show rolls on. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, and Darren McCarty. We got to go to Sam Flannel, our resident Michigan expert. Monday night, the Golden Grizzlies sauntered in Ann Arbor in men's soccer and played to a 0-0 draw against your University of Michigan. Now, I know you're a big Michigan baseball guy. You're at every game all season long. You know, the Michigan soccer program, they've been pretty mid for a while. When are they going to put some heat on the coach there?
Hey, I mean, tying to, with all due respect, Neal, tying or going to a draw, as they say, 0-0 at Oakland is absolutely unacceptable. I want a pound of flesh now.
One team was in the NCAA tournament last year, and one team hasn't been in a while.
Hey, that's actually a fair point, but
I'm just saying.
Oakland, they should not be able to tie Michigan in any sport. With all due respect, Neal, I know you're the
right, but they beat them in baseball.
Hey.
Draw them in soccer.
Is Oakland just on the rise, or is Michigan kind of mid in most of their programs?
I think that I think it's pretty much what we suspected. It's all bun and no burger.
Hey, let me steal a Neal line. Both things can be true.
They're just all bun. Just when you can ask the questions, Shaka Daly. He gets the recruits from New Jersey and California.
I thought you were going to say historic, Terry.
They got a $6 million stadium. When you can expect them to win?
I mean, I think the development of the players, that's the problem right there. Just like the Tigers, you got to kind of like develop these guys from Jersey. You can't just have them, sitting on the bench and not getting experience. That's the problem with Michigan soccer.
Maybe they're just young.
I love the people in our WoodwardSports.com chat thread. It doesn't matter what we talk about. You get this. Dominator. Was Justin Miram the last star at the University of Michigan in soccer?
Justin Miram. I long for those days. What a player that guy was.
Chuck Brewer says Michigan has a soccer team. Well, Chuck, if they went to the College Cup, you guys, we're going to talk Michigan soccer right now? They're playing for the national championship.
I hope not.
Yeah,
Terry. You know they would, though, right?
They would. No.
Stop it. The Brad Galleys and the WXYZs would put up a post and be a graphic of them going to the Final Four in soccer, and it'd get 2,000 likes, and 1,900 of them would be go blue, go blue. They would.
Behave yourself.
Did you ever go to a Michigan State soccer game?
I did not. No.
But you wouldn't report that you did. That you did.
Yeah,
either.
I wouldn't say that I did. I wouldn't say that I care about it. And so, like we said, I went to, I think, 2 Michigan State baseball games when I was there, and I was completely hammered both times, shooters and socks. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely.
I used to see the Chippewas play baseball when I was up there.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, Michigan State's baseball games were fun because it was like, like a Thursday afternoon. I'm walking back from class. I was like, oh, they're playing baseball.
Bring a couple hitters in with you.
I'll be right back.
I got to get ready to go. Yeah. This is a great point. See, I love this in our WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Miki Phelps says the last time Michigan soccer went to the NCAA tournament was when they got transfer Nash Popovich from Oakland. Okay. So there you go.
Okay.
Nash Popovich, sounds like a made-up name.
All right, here's my question. How would Oakland do against Michigan in football?
We're undefeated since 1959.
Okay.
So there you have it. D-Mac, any reaction to the Tony Paul interview?
No, I'm happy. Like the fact of what Tony said, calls like he sees it, and the guy coming in, really interesting. I'm going to go back and watch the interview because I want to hear about what the strike zone, how it makes sense. And if the guy at the top is talking about something so integral that affects the whole parts of the game, right? I want to know about it. So, it sounds like you got a guy in here that knows his job, and now we'll see. And here's the thing. I would expect he's got no affiliation to anybody in this, so he's going to come in here and just go whack, 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 the weed whacker out, and we're going to see what's left standing.
If he does that, if Scott Harris does that, and by all accounts he has the autonomy to do it, that's going to be the biggest tell for me.
To your question, here's an answer to your question. Chris ain't getting. Tony just told me this, right? Where I'm gonna watch Scott Harrison go. Okay, he's not getting the money to do it the old Illich way and say, go buy yourself out of this, go fix it, right? And fixing it means coming in there with that
because
sword
it has to be.
Because it has to be, and he's the right guy for the job. And the fact that Tony even says that there was no relationship or it was brought in by other source, and when you're bringing in a guy to run the whole organization, it's not about what sport it is. I don't care because leaders of men are leaders of men, right? And having these conversations. Also, too, the fact of the conversationalist of him being a good listener and being able to break things down. I understand that because great leadership does that.
They listen.
Listen and what needs to be applied, right? And so he's going to put guys in position, much like Steve Yzerman has done with guys that he trusts. Scott Harris trusts. He's probably going to hire guys we don't even know. Maybe there'll be some former guys from other organizations or something, but guys that you're going to see a relationship that he has, his network. The key, too, off the Epstein tree. I don't care what it is. That's a good thing. To me,
know what, fellas? I'm ready to crush, kill, and destroy. I would love to ask Scott Harris a question he would not answer. If you could take one guy out of the everyday lineup of the Tigers and just get rid of him, who would it be?
I know the answer to that. He told you the answer to that when he talked about the strike zone.
But you can't get rid of him. It's bias.
How the strike zone controls everything.
Right.
And it was. Tony's great. If you didn't watch it, go back and listen to him talk. Just that little part about the strike zone.
So you
about how it dictates everything.
It pretty much said the undisciplined, right? So for the fact is, undisciplined guys won't be here. Or they'll only be here because they have to be.
See, Terry, that's my thing about it. Because what are you going to do with Javi Baez? Who's taking him? No one's going to take him.
No.
So you're stuck with him.
Right. So
you are like that.
You just drop
now.
him
Now
in the
let me
lineup.
see. You want to show me you're a magic man? Wiggle your way out of that one. You know, like, and that's the thing.
Would that be the greatest trick, right? To weave yourself out of that contract.
Oh yeah, nobody could do it.
Nobody
alive could do it.
You have to piss Baez off so much that he wants out here and he's kicking and screaming, and that's the only way you can get rid of him. And you can't trade him, but just see us, fella. We'll see you. Good luck wherever you land.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jack Harrington, our resident SEC snob, says none of the SEC teams have soccer programs, so don't ask me. Yes, they do. Oakland's last NCAA tournament win, they beat Kentucky. So there you have that. Something, Michigan should take a look at. Shout out to my guy, Eric Pogue, soccer coach at Oakland. He's put together a great program. We'll take our final break. Give us questions for the legends. Terry Foster, D-Mac, Darren McCarty. Anything you guys want to ask them, feel free to fire away and ask them. They will answer it after I tell you about the Sports Marketing Agency. They spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast is titled This is the F Word, a series on fentanyl, the other addictions that plague our communities. If you're struggling, go to thesportsma.com. I'll tell you something else. If you know somebody who's struggling, thesportsma.com, the Sports Marketing Agency, they're here to help.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Detroit's downtown summer playground is back. Open all summer long, the Monroe Street Midway. Enjoy roller skating, free Wi-Fi, food trucks, art installations, and so much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the basketball court, putt-putt, and, of course, family programming all summer long. All art installations are done by Detroit artists, and it's a fun, safe event from people 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck. You know it, you've heard of it. It's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Fulling. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play. We can stay there open until close, have a good time. They also have private lane reservation, $120, 10 to 12 people. You get your own lane. You can stay as long as you want. If you get thirsty, they have a $2 mystery beer vending machine. You pop in $2, pops you out a good beer. No hassle, no fuss needed. If you know what you want or you want to make a decision, they have multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So make sure you come check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at fullingwarehouse.com.
Final segment of the show. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, T. Foss, Darren McCarty, Sam
Neal,
Flannel,
why
Spencer
you
Rattler.
starting the show back up? Me and Darren were talking soul food.
You were, as a matter of cue everybody in on the discussion. Real quick, let me clean some of this stuff up here.
Just joking.
On our WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Jack Harrington. Neal, my question is, will it look like Mardi Gras in the studio if the Lions beat the Vikings? Morning Woodward show, I bet it would. Adam Beydoun, my guy. He'll be on one. I think a lot of people will be on one. We should do that, like What If Friday. Like, what if the Lions win?
Yeah.
Sam Flannel, what if Tua beats the Bills?
I will have to give him my flowers, but it depends on how they do it.
He's got to qualify it.
Depends on how they do it.
Because you've proven you don't care about winning.
I care about the Dolphins.
No,
winning.
you want it to be stylistic.
It's not about stylistic.
Yes, it is.
It's not style. It's about
yes, it is.
Whether the quarterback actually plays well in a win.
Terry. So he's saying it's about style, right?
You know what? This guy should be a politician. He tries to wiggle out of every question.
Maybe he can wiggle us out of Javi Baez's contract.
Oh,
yeah, if you can do that.
I'm not a miracle worker.
Okay, so questions for the legends here on our WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Steve O'Baby has a question for D-Mac. D-Mac, who would win in a rap battle, Spencer or Terry Foster?
Oh, T. Foss has got old school stuff. I don't know. T. Foss can go real deep, and he's gonna drop some soul and R&B in there. I don't know if Spence can get off the today's. It could be interesting though. I'd be down for it.
Spence might be the next Eminem. Who
I got
knows?
bars. I have like 5 or 6 songs.
Really?
Yeah.
That you wrote?
Yeah.
You do not.
I do. The intro of Woodward Heavyweights is one of my songs.
Give me a couple verses. Right now, Rabbit. Hurry up.
Okay.
Come on, don't
Oh,
go to the
come
hole with the rock
on.
like. Okay, I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin. Coming up flipping, brand new whipping, some new keys and a mic that's dripping. If you know me, then you know I'm different. Can't keep up because the flow keeps switching. Dream of the top charts and I have a good start. Won't stop because my team hard. Smoke dumb out of tree bark. Smoke dumb with both hands. 4 zips and 4 friends. Me and my boys, man, we got this on plan. And yeah, I got
my man. There
we
you
got
go.
a song called Tony Soprano where we rap about Tony Soprano.
Yeah.
Like I'm Tony Soprano.
You got-
Sit and talk with your girl. I'll tell her the secrets. I'll show her the world. We got bars. And we were just like messing around in the basement because my friend is an actual music producer. Like he does songs for like Sada Baby, Cash Kid, stuff like that. Like he makes a bunch of beats and stuff. And so we would just be in the back. And, we just smoking and stuff, having a good time. And he'd put out a beat and we just start freestyling to it. And then, yeah, we got like.
Now, Spencer was on the
unreleased
corner
stuff.
selling his CDs. Would
Yes.
you buy one?
DJ Drama stuff.
I usually do when people are doing that. I usually will do that. Just support the dream, man. Like, I want to see people go after it.
And maybe one of them will get famous. It's only $10.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Francis Garcia. Damn, son. Joey 2 times. Cringe. Honolulu Blue Sparty. Let's go, Spence. Ethan Brown. Spence. LOL. Joey 2 times. Please no. Corey Perez. Surprise of the day.
Joey's a hater, man.
Or maybe jealous.
Use it for fuel. Question for Terry Foster. From Nelson. Uncle Terry. NBA 2003 draft. If the Pistons take Melo, does Bron ever take over the East?
Yeah, because he's Bron. Yeah, you still take over the East. But the Pistons would have been a bigger thorn in his side. So, and I wanted them to take Dwayne Wade. You know what would have happened? You would have blocked if you took Dwayne Wade? None of this. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4 crap in Miami never happens. Maybe LeBron is saying he's going to take his talents to the Detroit River. Who knows?
to the Detroit River.
Or the Greek town.
Let me see. Francis Garcia, another one for T. Foss. Did your bald head start when GPN shaved your hair after a football win?
I do remember that. No, they actually did not shave my head. I wanted them to. They just shaved the sides of my head because way back in the day, I guarantee Grosse Pointe South would beat Grosse Pointe North. Of course, they didn't. So we're at Jacobson's, which is a former department store, so they shaved the sides of my head. Actually, the person who discovered that I was going bald was my next door neighbor in school, Cindy Giggles.
Cindy
Wait,
Giggles.
wait. That was her nickname, right?
I gave her that name.
Yes, of course you did.
Because when she giggled, she wiggled. So I called her Cindy Giggles.
There you go.
The giggle wiggle.
Oh, we have one here for Ask Flannel from Jack Harrington. Are you president of the JJ fan club?
I indeed am, without a shadow of the doubt, because he's going to be the best quarterback in Michigan history. Mark it down. Let's go.
But he's behind in the Heisman race, though, right?
Oh yeah, he's definitely behind in the Heisman race. He's got to play better. He's got to actually throw some touchdown passes moving forward. He's got to break at least Michigan's single season record in order to be in the Heisman discussion.
Is he going to be the front runner for Heisman 2023?
Oh, absolutely. You can mark it down. He's going to be a preseason top 4 and never ever drop out of that. On his way to at least a New York appearance. Mark it down now.
This year?
No, 2023.
Oh, okay. Okay, I just want to get I want to get it. I want to get it out there.
Neal, he's going to get the juice this year and then win it next year.
That's right.
There you go. Got to lay the foundation. That'll do it for the show today. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Big thanks to Tony Paul of the Detroit News as well. Remember, check out the new Woodward Sports website, woodwardsports.com. For that guy, Darren McCarty, Terry Foster, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. My name's Neal Ruhl. Thanks, everybody, for checking in. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.